Hello everybody, it's me, your good friend Sparky, and welcome back to our final episode of looking through the Pikmin 2 Treasure Hoard and Piklopedia. We are going to be going through the very end of the Piklopedia, and then we will be saying goodbye officially to Pikmin 2 for now. As said at the end of the main series, I'm gonna be doing challenge mode at a different time, cause, Pikmin 2 has already been going on for a while, and I'd like to move on to other things. Starting us off today, though, in the Piklopedia here, we're gonna be looking at some of the plants strewn about the different areas and in the different caves and such. Yeah. All the little plants you see scattered about as little decoration pieces, they all have Piklopedia entries. It's nice. It's nice world building. Starting us off, we have the common glow cap. And obviously, none of these have any kind of treasure value, and you can't fight them, so no point going over those stats. Common glow cap. Fungi illuminari. Glow cap family. The light emitted from this rare mushroom is neither a reflection nor a release of stored light. It grows not only on decomposing trees, but also on soil and rocks. This mushroom's fungal filaments are capable of stabilizing and concentrating pure Hocotatium 111. It is none other than the Hocotatium 111 approaching the point of critical mass that causes the glow cap's blue luminescence. Interesting. A bit of a Hocotate chemistry lesson too, I guess. Rapturous fresh or sautéed, this illuminating fungus will be hot in the galaxy's trendiest restaurants. And I mean, we can take a better look at it and throw carrots at it, too, of course. But, yeah, no real necessary need to, I guess. Next up, we have Clover. Just Clover. Clover, Quattrus infectum, Clover family. This is a naturalized species. These plants are extremely persistent, and with the assistance of a symbiotic fungus that grows on its roots, the species is able to survive even in drought conditions. Typically, its leaves come in groupings of 3, but intense impact on the leafing stem early in the development cycle can result in an extremely rare 4-leaf cluster, which we found as a treasure, and we're trying to sell it to somebody on our home planet. Mildly poisonous, may result in nausea, headache, fever, fatigue, chest pains, paralysis, loss of bone density, moodiness, feral rage, sauciness, dilly-dallying, strokes of brilliance, and ultimately doom. Not to mention the condition known as hot dog fingers. Clover. Delicious for your pet rabbit, but highly poisonous for Hocotate people. Next up, we have the figwort. Figwort, Scrophularium, Fularia, Xenomium, figwort family. This plant offers an excellent example of a non-native species introduced into the ecosystem by some unknown method. Upon introduction, it quickly established a foothold and adapted to the new habitat. This plant's distinct flowers usually exhibit a stunning blue color in early spring, but recent fieldwork has recorded specimens displaying a deep red hue. Although this may represent a sudden deviation in the genetics of the species, the red coloration is much more likely an anomaly. Additional readings suggest no significant atmospheric or solar radiation changes have occurred in the ecosystem, leaving open the possibility that soil consumption and mineral deposits may have affected petal coloration. I see. This titillating ingredient tastes impossibly fresh, but you must cook it immediately after picking. If you don't, it'll go bad within minutes. So, refrigeration not recommended, I guess. Have some carrots. Why isn't there an entry on the carrots? I don't know. Dandelion. Some of these are phenomenally normal sounding. Apparently Hocotate just has pretty similar plants, or there was some record they found of the names of these things. Dandelion. Taraxacum officinale. Dandelion family. This perennial grows best in locations with full sun exposure. Its flowers boast countless tiny yellow petals packed together in a head. The species seems to have as many weed-like variants as petals, so more detailed research on these plants would best be left to a botanical research specialist. Okay. Young leaves are only suitable in garden salads. Use the flower to add color to your dishes. Dandelions are totally edible by human standards, so, yeah. I suppose that a Hokotate might be able to eat it too. Hokotate person, Hokotatian. Next we have the seedling dandelion. Seedling dandelion, Taraxum ventulis, dandelion family. It is believed that this plant produces tufted seeds with a parachute-like arm, which allows the seeds to ride gently in the wind. This increases the distribution range of the plant considerably. And in the summers around where I live, in summers and springs around where I live, you have literally millions of dandelions at any given time, and so sometimes the air is just full of dandelion seeds. Dried, roasted, and finely ground, the root of this plant makes a passable coffee substitute. I see. And if you coffee aficionados out there can confirm this or not? And what do you think of dandelion coffee, I wonder? Next up, we have the horsetail. Horsetail, Equestrias vindico, horsetail family. This variety of horsetail is prevalent in regions with low nutrient content in the soil. Unlike most other plants, this particular species propagates itself through the release of spores. I see. Remove and discard the primitive scaly leaves, then blanch the tender stalk in a buttery broth. Aha. Yep. It's horsetail, alright. Carrots. Okay, moving on, we have the foxtail. Whole bunch of tails. Foxtails, Vulpes cauda, foxtail family. This plant remains erect after withering and losing its color, so we can only hypothesize about the true color of the plant's plumage. However, local soil analysis indicates trace amounts of dormant seeds, making it not hard to imagine that the area was thick with these plants in the summer. Inedible, plagues victims with potent debilitating cramps. Good to know, Louis. Good to know. Next we have the glow stem. Glow stem, Nocturnia illuminati. Illuminati? What secrets does this glow stem hold? Glowclap family. Although they are obviously unrelated, the glow stem bears a striking resemblance to the streetlights on Hokotate. It is highly possible that glow stems could be a relic of some unknown civilization beyond the scope of our imagination. Or it's just like a glowing mushroom. Inedible. Known effects include uncontrollable episodes of impromptu breakdance. The reason I love this so much is because that sounds like something stupid I would write for something. And it's just hilarious. Did I work on this game in an alternate timeline or something? I have to know. Oh, I forgot to zoom in on it and throw carrots at it. Careful not to eat unless you want to break dance. Oh, that got me. Margaret. Margaret, Luminous Crocius, chrysanthemum family. This plant's delicate yellow flowers often inspire waves of nostalgia, giving a bittersweet feeling to any who gaze upon them. And also a feeling of fear when it turns out it's actually a creeping chrysanthemum and it's trying to eat you. Can be eaten fresh out of the soil, but it's much more flavorful when incorporated into a heavenly veggie lasagna. Ooh, that sounds really good. I do love me some veggie lasagna. With like instead of the red sauce, like sort of a white sauce and just like the ricotta in there. Oh man, that sounds really good right now. I wish it wasn't like 9:22 and I was several miles from from like a store where I could go buy some veggie lasagna right now, you know? Anyway, moving on, we have the fiddlehead. Fiddlehead, Violinae orchestras, fern family. At first glance, this plant resembles the spring used in the ship's sublight engine. Many of its most primitive characteristics remain intact, including its habit of spreading through a dispersal of spores. Okay. Sun-dry the leaves for several days, then grind them into a mortar with a mortar and pestle. The resulting herb grants an aromatic, earthy flavor to mutton and poultry dishes. The fiddlehead, everybody. Goes good with poultry, apparently. I can dig it. And the last plant on our list is a shoot. Shoot. Unknown. Unknown family. This is a young shoot of some kind, but what kind of tree species does it belong to? What shape will it take when it matures and grows to full height? Unfortunately, we are only able to obtain information from our portable scanners on a select few of the countless numbers of species we've encountered. But even if our expedition yields only brief observations on the life if we encounter, it will still provide a better understanding of this bizarre planet. Indeed. Inedible, and yet strangely delicious. So it's like gum. You chew it, but you don't swallow it, I guess. And lastly, for the Piklopedia, we move on to the big guys, the boss enemies. Starting with the Empress Bulblax, with a value of 15 Pokos, having killed 41 Pikmin. Possibly the highest amount, aside from maybe the final boss. And creatures defeated, we've defeated 3 of them. All 3 stupid Empress Bulblax fights. Empress Bulblax, Oculus Matriarcha, Grubdog family. Initial observation placed doubt on the capability of the Grubdog family to support a strong ant or bee-like social structure. But recent studies show the family is capable of such complexity. The egg sac of the largest female grub dog within a given range swells to dramatic proportions in response to environmental changes, such as the sudden depletion of prey species. These females temporarily take on the role of pack matriarch. Also, in pack formation, it has been observed that nearly all males are not involved with the species' reproduction undergo natural sex changes. The characteristics of such specimens are quite intriguing indeed. Wow. The complexities of the Bulborbs and Bulblax families really are something. For a sophisticated delicacy, make a pâté de foie gras from this massively obese creature's liver, then spread it over a sesame cracker. Specifically a sesame cracker. Hey, wake up! Wake up! Carrots! Roll over these carrots! Do something! Well, we can petrify you at least. We never tried that during the main game. Petrifying maybe we did, but it didn't work. Petrifying the Empress Bulblax is a bit weird to do. You, like, have to do it from the sides, which is obviously, like, the most dangerous part to be on with an Empress Bulblax. So, yeah. And by the way, no, you can't petrify any of the plants. I figured I'd just let you know. Next up is the Burrowing Snagret. These darn things. Valued at 10 Pokos, we've lost 17 Pikmin to them, and we've defeated 7, because you can't get enough Burrowing Snagrets, apparently. Burrowing Snagret, Chiropedis anacondae, Snavian family. The majority of Snagret species lie in wait to ambush and capture prey. With a body type perfectly adapted to such sudden strikes, it violently attacks small surface-dwelling insects. Distributed across a relatively wide range, subspecies of Snagret suited to the varying soil conditions have emerged, making the Snagret the most geographically represented species besides the Bulborb. Visually resembling the Burrowing Snagret is the Burrowing Snarrow, the range of which partially overlaps with the Snagret's range. While the two may appear similar when pulled from the ground, they can be distinguished by the presence or absence of a tail and wing markings. I see. I think that's where I was remembering the Burrowing Snarrow name from, because, as it turns out, the other Snagret variety is not called the Burrowing Snarrow, I don't think. I don't know what a Burrowing Snarrow is actually supposed to be, but apparently there's a lot of different Snagrets, which is utterly terrifying. Slice the serpentine torso into thin medallions, skewer on a metal rod with hokotate onions, and barbecue over an open flame. Honestly, I don't think I'd want to eat one of these. They're just overall awful. And I want it, like, out there right now. I just want to say, I am a bird lover. I love birds. Birds are like my favorite animal ever. And the Burrowing Snagret is awful. This thing is not a bird, it's some kind of demon snake, and it needs to go away. I refuse to believe it's a bird. Next, we have the Beady Longlegs, an enemy that's not collectible, so there's no Poco value. We have not lost any Pikmin to the Beady Longlegs, and we defeated 2 of them. Beady Longlegs, Pseudorachnia amoralis, arachnorb family. Although this creature is commonly associated with spiders, it is actually the result of a separate evolutionary line of insectoid creatures. Since the spherical body section supported by the creature's legs carries most of its internal organs, there appear to be no other features that would correspond to a head or abdomen. Yeah, and typically the top of it would, contain, a treasure or a ship part or something. So, where exactly did the internal organs go? In its party ball-like structure? I don't really know. Poisonous. Consumption results in prolonged writhing and uncontrollable mirth. Not as bad as uncontrollable breakdancing, but you know what they say. Probably shouldn't eat it regardless. Petrification! Next we have the good old Emperor Bowblax. With a value of 15 Pokos, having lost 23 Pikmin to them, and we have defeated 4. Yeah, the Bowblax is pretty numerous, all things considered, for being the final boss of Pikmin 1. And he's even more numerous in Pikmin 4, as it turns out. I don't know if that's a spoiler or not, but yeah. Expect to see a lot of them if you're playing the game to 100%. Emperor Bowblax, Oculus Supremus, Grubdog family. The largest member of the Grubdog family is normally found buried in the ground, with only the stalks of its eyes exposed. This camouflage allows the predator to surprise smaller creatures and use its long, adhesive tongue to capture prey. The thick hide and angular hump give the organism a distinct rock-like quality. During the rainy season, moss grows freely on its hump, making it nearly impossible to distinguish this lethal predator from a stone. To prep the tongue for cooking, marinate in olive oil and chop into cubes. Stir in a pot with carrots, potatoes, and chives, cover, and simmer over low heat for several hours. Accompany this mouth-watering rustic stew with a hearty roll. And there he is. Our good old friend, the Emperor Bowblax. No comment on why they come in 2 different sizes, of course, but whatever. You are stoned now. Go away. And we have here our good friend, the giant potato bug. With 10 Pokos, we lost no Pikmin while fighting it, and we've defeated 1. One of the few boss-type enemies that doesn't make, a second appearance somewhere in the game. He is just the giant potato bug. There's only one of him. And now he's dead. Anyway. Giant potato bug. Potatosaurus gigantus. Potato bug family. This gargantuan species of the greater potato bug family has a torso so perfectly square that it almost seems like it was formed in a mold. For a brief period after birth, the giant potato bug competes for food with smaller potato bugs. But upon reaching maturity, it seeks out much larger prey. This is the primary reason that 2 species with similar feeding habits can coexist in the same habitat. Hordes of Pikmin appear to pose the only possible threat to this massive creature's life. Although cooking this colossal beast yields a mountain of meat, every ounce of it is flavorless, only suitable for intergalactic all-you-can-eat buffets. Yeah, with some seasoning you can make it pretty good, I'd say. Not that I'd ever eat my beloved potato bugs, but just saying. Kind of just wandering off by himself, doing his own thing. He's a rock now. Moving on. Yep, we have the pileated snagret next. With a value of 15 Pokos, we've lost 16 Pikmin in battle to them, and we've defeated 2. Pileated snagret, Chiropedis ambulatria, okay, the Snavian family. This variety of snagret has the ability to both burrow underground and walk above it. Its earthly red coloration and distinct yellow ear and eye markings make it immediately recognizable. Despite featuring a chimera-like merging of serpent and avian features, the pileated snagret has poor eyesight for a bird, perhaps due to extended periods spent underground. To compensate for this, its nose features a thermal sensing organ common in many snakes, making it a dangerously effective hunter. See? More snake than bird. This doesn't count as a bird. It's terrible. Go away. And I'm not saying anything against snakes. Snakes are neat, but this thing is still terrible. You haven't lived until you've tasted a mint braised snagret shank. Or, if you're feeling especially saucy, stuff a bird with a can of your favorite savory nectar, throw it in the barbecue, and let the juices mingle to make a mean beverage canister snagret. Okay. Let's get another look at you, you disturbing thing, you. Look at you hop around like a freaking weirdo. And now you're a rock. I hate you. Next up, we have the Man-at-Legs. Another beast you cannot collect, so there's no Poké value. We've lost 15 Pikmin to him in battle, and we've defeated 2 of them. Man-at-Legs, Pseudonorachnia navaronia. Navaronia? Sounds like kind of some form of pasta. Arachnorb family. This species of the Arachnorb family fuses with machinery at a crucial point in the maturation process, giving it the ability to fire energy bursts from a launcher beneath its orbular torso. However, the Man-at-Legs itself is not in control of this weapon. Instead, the mechanical portions of the structure appear to automatically acquire and attack targets. The Man-at-Legs has a gentle disposition, and as a member of the Arachnorb species, it has no natural enemies. It is particularly difficult to understand why this species would develop such awesome offensive capabilities, leading to rumors among the scientific community that it was the machinery that approached the Arachnorb and proposed the symbiotic relationship. Ah, I see. So it's like a robot Venom symbiote, or something like that. I've been watching a lot of Spider-Man movies recently. Although the meat is a bit on the metallic side, the oil makes a mouth-watering gravy or lubricative vinaigrette. I see. Wake up. Wake up. Shoot these carrots. I will say, for as, like, crazy disturbing as the Man-at-Legs is, it is probably one of my favorite Pikmin enemies. Just because of, like, the cool half-spider, half-robot design. Also, that machine gun's rather loud, I must say. Moving on, we have the Ranging Bloister. Not the Raging Bloister, Ranging Bloister. Worth 15 Pokos, we've lost 7 Pikmin to it in battle, and we've defeated 2 of them. Ranging Bloister, Molluskid predatoria, mollusking family. This species of mollusk has shed its cells through the process of evolution. What appears to be a flower-shaped protrusion on its back actually functions as its gills. The Ranging Bloister ensnares small animals with its sticky tentacles, reels them in, and consumes them. Observers have noted that this creature exhibits a keen interest in flashing objects, and often tries to capture and ingest these objects. Researchers and explorers equipped with flashing identification beacons should be wary when in close proximity to this dangerous predator. Like, say, if you're a captain on a mission collecting treasure and your antenna has a bright light on the top of it, you might want to be careful. The gills are best prepared, deep-fried in an herb and bread crumb batter. Also tasty poached and drenched with a fine soy sauce. Also, like, really way too big for the camera. Can't even get a good look at you. It's not too interested in the carrots, of course, so it's a rock now. Next, our good friend, the Water Wraith. No Poké value for this one, since you can't collect the body. We've lost 8 Pikmin to it in battle, and we've only defeated 1. Another Pikmin boss that there's only one of in the whole game, though I do believe the Water Wraith reappears somewhere in challenge mode. So that should be fun, eventually. Water Wraith, Amphibio sapiens, unknown family. All that is known about this creature stems from a few sightings deep underground. All reported sightings feature the same core of set details, a giant viscous form with a clear, hazy sheen not unlike hard candy. One theory holds that it may be the ectoplasmic incarnation of a kind of psychic phenomenon. But as is usually the case with such theories, it is very difficult to prove. All witnesses report being suddenly overcome with fear upon sighting the creature, approaching a state of panic and near insanity. In fact, every report contains an inordinate amount of extremely vague details, which has led to suspicions that exhaustion and fear have caused some simple natural phenomenon to be viewed as a living creature. I don't know, Olimar, there's really nothing natural about that thing. Inedible, known to cause mass hysteria followed by leg spasms and internal thunderings. Internal thunderings? Does that mean it makes you toot, Louis? I don't know how you would really know to begin with, considering it's like an interdimensional being or whatever. But, seems to be interested in rolling over the carrots at the very least. And now he's a rock. Too bad we don't have any purple Pikmin with us. Next up, we have the Segmented Crobster. With a value of 15 Pokos, we've lost 23 Pikmin to him in battle. My, that was an upsetting fight. And we've defeated one of them. Again, there's only one boss fight with this particular enemy in the game. Segmented Crobster. Parasitocoidae reptantia. Okay. Creep Crab family. The gigantic beast is wrapped in a hard shell, and in an atypical evolution, the right front leg of this creature is hypertrophic, taking on the function of an arm rather than a leg. Its asymmetric physical development is unique in the natural world. One unlucky explorer's incorrect conclusion that this creature adheres to a pattern of peaceful, quiet behavior led to an unfortunate incident. In fact, this beast exhibits intensely hostile, aggressive tendencies, aiming at prey and ramming them at full speed. Dessert meats are all the rage on Hokotate. When the planet's finest chefs hear about the kind of sorbets, pies, and parfaits you can make with the claw meat of this sweet beast, they'll clamor for every morsel we bring home. Throw a couple carrots this way, see what he thinks of them. Gonna roll the carrots? Gonna roll over the carrots, buddy? No. Doesn't seem too interested in rolling around and squashing carrots. Oh well. Next we have the Raging Longlegs. We lost no Pikmin in this fight, surprisingly, with how big its feet are. We can't collect the body, and we've only defeated one of them, because there's only one of them in the game. Raging Longlegs. Pseudonorachnia furiendis. Arachnorb family. Arachnorbs boast a wondrous biological composition, with a silicon-based exoskeleton and innards coated with a malleable heavy metals. However, much about these creatures remains a mystery, as specimens regularly explode when they are dissected. These explosions produce scorching flames that completely melt all internal organs, leaving us with a disappointing lack of information on the inner workings of the species. We must await the development of new dissection processes and more specialized research before we can better understand this enigmatic creature. However, the following observation notes have been recorded. Appears to be leveling terrain for some unknown purpose. Location of eyes and ears not readily apparent. Freezing a specimen may yield new research opportunities. So I guess that's why there's no internal organs in the orb. It explodes them when you defeat it. Or something like that. Neither boiling nor baking can diminish this creature's overpowering musky scent, only suitable for serving to unpleasant in-laws. If you just want them to go away, I guess. Have some carrots, buddy. I do like the Raging Longlegs. I like the coloration with the swirling purple and black on it. It's rather neat. And now it's stone. And finally, we have our good friend, the Titan Dweevil. And I just want to compare something here real quick. 44 in comparison to 41. Okay, so the Titan Dweevil does take the cake for most Pikmin defeated, I'm pretty sure. But here it is, the Titan Dweevil, the final boss of Pikmin 2, minus its weapons. We lost 44 Pikmin to it in that one battle, and we've only defeated the one, of course, because there was no more game after we finished off the one, and you can't collect the body. Titan Dweevil, Mandracarnia gargantium, Dweevil family. The largest member of the Dweevil family, this fearsome predator carries protective components that frequently exhibit offensive capabilities, an evolution that may be attributed to mere chance. Another evolutionary theory is that the chemical contents of the containers carried by the Titan Dweevil contribute to possible gene splicing. While other Dweevils do not seem to choose the objects they carry, the Titan Dweevil appears to prefer shiny objects above all others. Eaten raw, this predator's luxurious legs are bold and full-flavored. What a satisfying crunch. How many of these did you eat before you took control of one, Louie? That's the real question. I know your game. And, well, that's the last part of the Piklopedia. We can watch the Titan Dweevil parade around for a little while. He can't really do anything. He's not too interested in the carrots. But we can petrify him if we really want to. Fun fact, if you are for some reason still playing the game after you beat the Titan Dweevil, if you petrify the Titan Dweevil right before you beat it, he can distribute quite a number of sprays. I guess if you went out of order and you took on the Titan Dweevil early, that's pretty handy, but I still feel like the Titan Dweevil is best saved for last. Anyway, that is going to call it for right now. That's all of the Treasure and Piklopedia entries for you lovely peoples, read aloud with my commentary that may or may not have been welcome. But they did make me laugh. These did make me laugh quite a bit, and I hope they made you laugh too. But that is going to be it for right now. Thank you very much for watching. This is your good friend Sparky signing off, and I will see you in the next project. Until then, have a good whatever.